We're live from historic Sanford Memorial Stadium here in Sanford, Florida for day 3 of the Florida League High School Invitational, the Classic Tournament. My name is Conrad Volch here on FloridaLeagueTournaments.com on Varsity Sports Nation. Got an early one for you, getting things started at 8:30 this morning between the Eustis Panthers and the Deltona Wolves. Both these teams 0-1 in pool play thus far, with Eustis falling to Martin County late, as this is a game-starting double by Deltona. It's Braden Thorne who says, yeah, we're not, this game today is not going to go as it did against Martin County. Martin County had a doubleheader yesterday against both of these teams, defeating both. They defeated Deltona 10-1 and Eustis 4-3. They had to unleash a comeback, tying the game in the bottom of the 5th and scoring the winning run in the bottom of the 7th. Deltona at 10 wins this season, when they had 10 wins total a season ago. Looking to get that 11th victory for the first time in a season since 2023. They finished 11-14 that year in the 2022-2023 baseball season. On the other side for Eustis, they're trying to get to back-to-back winning seasons. Or they're trying to get to a winning season for the first time since 2024, when they finished 15-12. They had a bunch of years or a bunch of seasons in a row when they finished with a winning record, dating back to the 2006-2007 season all the way up to about 2015-2016. But sometimes a tournament like this, you get to try some different things and have some different lineups to experiment, if you will, or if not, just take what you have that you think works and continue to grow it and work through it. Jaden Colon with a 3-1 count. That is inside for strike 2. Again, Deltona scored 1 total run in their lone game thus far in this tournament. And their last win was back on March 11th against Flagler Palm Coast, in which they won 5-2. Before their last couple of losses, they had won 5 straight, dating back to February 27th. But already the same number of wins this year that they had all of last year under head coach Goss. First full count of the game. This is hit high into right center. Staying up there, and it is caught for out number 1. The throw will be cut off right around the shortstop area. And that'll move Thorne down to third.
The pitcher, Noah Locchiato.
So Noah Locchiato will come to the plate with 1 on, 1 away. Deltona as a team hit 154 against Martin County. Pulled together 4 hits. So not a big hitting performance. Already got 1 here in the first inning. That pitch is high and inside for ball 1. Going against the pitcher for the Panthers, Anthony Castiglione. He Evens the count at strike one. Castiglione, third appearance of the year, has one save to his name this season. Him and Heine are the only two on this team with 0 ERAs. Granted, the body of work is a little bit smaller than some of the rest of the pitchers on the team, but still something noteworthy. The 3-1 for Locchiato. And they're going to say that he's outside for ball 4. So now that'll put runners at the corners for the Wolves here in the morning.
First baseman Eric Cunningham.
Eric Cunningham comes to the plate for the first time today. Crisp morning once again, 46 degrees at first pitch. And the wind blowing towards right field. Saw a lot of that yesterday. Hine inside for ball 1. The 1-0 outside, or no, they're going to say it's in the zone for strike 1, and the runner is out at second. Said he came off the bag. That's 2 outs for Deltona. So now the count is 1-1, and this time inside ball 2. And this one gets away from the catcher. He's able to keep it in front of him. Braden Thorne was getting ready to take off down to home, but not enough open space to take advantage of down by home plate. Ryder Newman keeping the ball in front of him despite it not being fully in his glove, and that'll be another walk for Deltona. So once again, that puts runners back at the corners here for the Wolves.
Left fielder Elio Rosado.
And that'll bring Elio Rosado up to the plate. And that'll get popped up into the air. This is in fair territory. And that's caught by the first baseman for out number 3. So Deltona gets a man as far as third, but cannot bring him home. They do get a hit as well. But we'll see what Eustis has when we return here on Varsity Sports Nation. Bottom first, coming up next. Welcome back into Varsity Sports Nation. You're in the bottom of the first inning. Still no score. Braden Barnes, the shortstop, to lead things off. This looks like the catcher for Deltona trying to get his comms wire sorted out. And it's been a more rather recent thing that catchers have been allowed to have a comm system to communicate with the coaches in the dugout. Now the first pitch comes in for ball one. Got a 5-game slate today here at Sanford Memorial. That's fouled off for strike one. And we had rain on the first day that kind of pushed a bunch of stuff out and backwards. But luckily it happened on the first day and not towards the end of the tournament. So some stuff got moved around. A couple places were able to be available to house some games. Had 2 games out at Lyman the other day and Lake Minneola yesterday as well. Three balls, 1 strike. But the tournament schedule that's on the website basically will be back to normal operating procedures and normal schedule should be by tomorrow. And that'll be a walk for Barnes. So both the first batters of each team have reached base. Thorne had the double in the top of the first, and now Barnes has a walk here in the bottom of the first. It's time down the middle but low for ball one. Noah Lucchiato on the mound for the Wolves. This time it is hit out of play for strike one. They check Barnes at first. He remains safe. Lucchiato, 1-1 as a starter this year. 6th appearance of the year, 1.47 ERA. The 2-1. Inside, ball 3. Runner goes. This is hit into left. Does this have the distance? Yes, it does! A 2-run homer for the Eustis Panthers. That's the third home run of the year for Ethan Jackson.
At the plate now, first baseman Jabril Rivera-Caraballo.
Came into this game hitting .308. That's his 13th hit, 16th RBI. And if you're Eustis coming off that disappointing loss yesterday to Martin County, that's a good start. That'll be bunted off the end of the bat, but foul for Jabril Rivera-Caraballo. Caraballo, one of two Panthers committed to college. He's committed to St. Cloud Technical and Community College. As that pitch comes in for ball one. And as I said, full slate of games today. Lake Mineola and Pines Charter coming up around 11. And we'll have Dr. Phillips and Western at 1:30, Flagler Palm Coast and St. Cloud. That game is going to determine Pool D, as both those two teams come in at 1-0. And Apopka and Lyman will take place around 6:30. The 1-2. Fouled off. Into the parking lot. Eustis in their white uniforms today. Deltona in all black. This will be hit into left again, but this time it's caught for out number one. Didn't quite have the distance that time. I think more impressively on that two-run homer, it was curling to the left, which usually when it does that, it's going to fall foul, but it escaped over the wall just before it had time to be on the wrong side of the foul pole. So Peyton Woodward, who was the starting pitcher against Martin County yesterday, will be in the lineup as a second baseman today. But you tend to see that with high school squads. Guys play multiple positions, including pitching and fielding. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Woodward, one of the better bats of this Eustis roster, hitting .341. 14 hits on the season, trying to make it 15. The 3-1. Make it full count as that one is fouled off. And we'll see how much the elements affect today's games. Had a cold start yesterday, wind blowing mostly towards right field. Now the wind's changed directions, blowing towards home plate now. And that is outside, ball four. So each team now has walked two players in their half of the first inning. This will bring Tegan Euro, the designated hitter, to the plate with one away. Upstairs, ball one. Upstairs again, ball two. If you tuned in last night at the World Baseball Classic, another thriller of a championship. Venezuela captures their first WBC title in country history. They took down the United States 3-2. Bryce Harper had a two-run homer to tie the game at 2 apiece, but Venezuela able to get the winning run, the run that mattered, if you will. 2 balls, 1 strike. That is tossed down to second, not in time. So Woodward now moves into scoring position for the Panthers. So count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. And 2 runners have been walked. Make that 3. So Ryder Newman will come to the plate with 2 on and 1 out.
Let the catcher, Ryder Newman.
And we'll have our first plate meeting, or mound meeting, I should say. Coach Goss coming out to talk to his pitcher. We'll take a quick break here on Varsity Sports Nation. Back here in Sanford, Florida, here on Varsity Sports Nation. No pitching change, just a simple conversation between coach and pitcher at infield. High and inside for ball 1. Ryder Newman, got 5 hits this season, batting .185. That time down the middle for strike 1. And Eustis, their last win came on March 11th against the Village's Charter. That was a 1-0 victory at home. It was part of a 3-game winning streak dating back to March 6th. Runners go, but that is fouled off. They'll have to go back to their bases. And Eustis started out 3-0 on the season, also winning 5 of their first 6. And it's just kind of been one loss here and there. Actually, with that loss to Martin County, that's the first time they've had back-to-back losses all season. Trying to avoid 3 in a row here against Deltona. That one is down the line, and very interesting decision-making there in the infield. Tried to go for third base, but was a little hesitant. And that'll load the bases with one out as a courtesy runner comes in.
Plate, third baseman, Tim.
Ryder Newman will go take a seat. And this will be Kale Hidoroa at first base running for Ryder Newman. So Eustis with a big shot to score some more runs here. However, the double play opportunity is playable, as we might see that happen here. Thrown down to second, throw to first, and there's the double play. So right after a very strange decision over at third, it doesn't matter because one batter later, it ends the inning. But not before the Panthers score two. They get a two-run homer off the bat of Ethan Jackson. See how Deltona responds. Top of the second, coming up next. Welcome back to Varsity Sports Nation. Top of the second, led off by number 2, Jesus Marrero of the Deltona Wolves, as he fouls that one off for strike one. And Deltona just got themselves out of a major jam in that first inning. Interesting fielding decision over by third base, but led right into a double play. Very next batter. That curls in for strike two. Marrero hitting .333 this season with 11 hits and 5 RBIs. Outside, ball one. The only hitter on the Wolves roster with a red helmet. And seen his red helmet yesterday, a couple pink bats across the teams as well. That's outside, ball two. The 2-2. Inside, ball three. Or no, actually, they said it hit him. So make that a hit by pitch. Take your base.
Now batting the second baseman, Ray Vargas.
As Ray Vargas comes to the plate with one on and nobody out. Vargas, a .238 hitter this season. One of two Wolves with a home run this year. Him and Luciano have home runs. Noah Luciano has 2. The 0-1. Outside, ball 1. And that one hits the batter again. Vargas tried to dip out of the way, but it looked like it just clipped him in the upper back area. So Tavon Thompson, right fielder. Mentioned pink bats. He's one of 2 guys we saw yesterday with a pink bat. Shows bunt, pulls back last second, ball 1. This is swung on up towards the shortstop. He'll throw to second for nobody out, and it's bases loaded, nobody out. So fielding has been interesting, to say the least, for both of these teams.
The catcher, Mario Vega.
As this brings up the 9th hitter on the card, Mario Vega, with a chance to really do some damage here. And we saw Eustis with bases loaded in the last inning, but hit into a double play to end the inning. This time, Deltona has bases loaded, nobody out. It's outside, ball 1. Vega, another Wolves hitter, over 200 hitting 263 with 10 hits. That is just tipped off the end of the bat for strike 1. Seen a couple solo homers, a couple 2-run homers, and a 3-run homer. Have not seen a grand slam this tournament, at least this season. See if we get one here off the bat of Vega. High and inside. Ball 2. The 2-1. Fouled off. Strike 2. Framed it, struck him out. Vega goes down looking. So we head back up to the top of the order. Thorne got the first hit of the game for either team, and a double in his last at bat. Can he go 2 for 2? just outside, ball one. We've seen both teams have been able to load the bases. Question is, who can bring people home? As that is popped up in shallow right center, and that's caught. No, it's dropped! It's dropped! Everybody kind of just paused for a second. So that'll be an out at third, but the Wolves able to get a runner home. Tough break there for Deltona and Eustis, honestly, but tough break even more for Deltona. Everyone thought it was caught for an out, so everybody just paused. But Deltona cuts into this lead, only down by one now. As Marrero comes in from third. And that'll land as a base hit.
At the plate, the pitcher, Noah Lokiato.
So 2 outs here for Deltona. They were able to get 1 run in. It's back to a bases loaded situation here. Outside, ball one. The 1-1. Oh. Break time. Now the 1-1. Fouled off. Make that 1-2. And both of these teams have loaded the bases. Eustis did it bottom of last inning, unable to bring anybody home so far. Deltona has brought 1 home. Got 3 hits. That is hit high into right and just fouled. Missed the correct side of the foul line by about 1.5 feet. And that gets away. 1 run will come home. The other 2 runners advance to second and third. 2-2 count, and it's 2-2 on the scoreboard. That's Tavon Thompson coming in from third. That gets hit in the center for another run to come home. Oh, they're going to wait. No, they're not. Oh, he could have come home as the ball was mishandled back at the pitcher's mound. But nonetheless, 3 runs scored here in the top of this second inning, and Deltona takes their first lead of this tournament. Eric Cunningham with runners at the corners and 2 out. Foul tipped for strike 1. Foul tipped again for strike 2. Luciano was going from first to second, but has to go back to first. And swinging a miss, strike 3. Well, Deltona able to take advantage of having the bases loaded. They take the lead 3-2. Eustis has a chance to respond when we return here on Varsity Sports Nation. Bottom of the second here between Eustis and Deltona. Parker Euro. It's his first at bat of the day. Swing and foul tipped for strike 1. And Deltona, 3 runs scored in the top of this inning to take their first lead of this Florida League High School Invitational Tournament. Scored 1 run against Martin County yesterday. It's outside, ball 2. Time upstairs for ball 3. Eustis has at least done a decent job of getting on base. Only got 1 hit, but that 1 hit was the 2-run homer. All their other base runners have got on by virtue of a walk. Deltona's side, seen walks, hit by pitches, and hits, and that'll be another walk. Walk number 4
Now batting the left fielder, Tyler Heine.
for the Panthers. as Tyler Heine in the 9-hole spot bats for the first time. It's bunted but foul. Check the runner down at first. The 0-1. Swung on, back to the pitcher. Throw to second, gets away. And that'll put runners at first and second. Nobody out here for Eustis. So we go back to the top of the order. Braden Barnes. So Eustis with their chance to regain the lead here in the bottom of the second. Barnes, the Florida Southern commit on this Panther team. That ball gets away. Runners advance down to second and third. Make that 2 balls, no strikes. Outside again. Ball 3. We see another walk here. We'll see Eustis load the bases for the second straight inning. And there we go. Barnes reaches base in both of his at-bats. However, both are walks. And now we see the man, Ethan Jackson, who's already got a home run to his name. See how Deltona decides to pitch to him. Noah Luciano, see if he tries to pitch away to try and bait the swing or if he will go after him. That one's in the dirt, but Deltona catches a break there as Vega able to make contact with the ball and have it creep up the third baseline versus sneaking away to the backstop. Jackson gets through! 1 run comes home. They'll send home a second one. The throw to the plate is not in time. Runners at the corners, and it's 4-2. And correction on my part, I don't know why I said 2. I saw the 2 on the scoreboard. It's 4-3. So Eustis regains the lead. So Ethan Jackson has been responsible for all the runs that have been scored through now the bottom of the second here for Eustis. And he'll try to sneak down to second. Luciato caught the ball from the catcher. I'm not sure if he meant to do that. Outside, but they say it hit the zone for strike 1. So Eustis's offense starting to come alive. Again, loaded the bases in the bottom of the first, could not get anybody home after that 2-run homer. Now they've got 2 more runs, and they're hungry for more here. And Jackson had a 2-run homer and a 2-run RBI single. That sneaks back in the zone for strike 2. 2-2. Outside, ball 3. Full count. Gabriel Rivera Caraballo. 0 for 1 with a fly out. What comes next? Popped up into the air into foul territory. And stabs itself down into the concrete walkway. Behind the Eustis dugout. And rung him up, struck him out. Third strikeout thrown by Luciano. Or correction, first strikeout thrown by Luciano, excuse me. There's Peyton Woodward with 1 away and 2 on. Inside, ball 1. Upstairs, ball 2. And wind changing back to right field now. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Got to keep a tally on how many runs Ethan Jackson will be responsible for by the end of this game. So far, he's been responsible for all 4 as Woodward swings and misses for strike 2. It's funny how every baseball game at any level has its own little story within a story, if you will. That's been the biggest shining light here for this Panther offense. As Barnes tried to sneak even farther down off of third base. Line outside, ball 3, so back-to-back full counts. Here's Luciano has had to work last couple innings. Swung on and sent into foul territory. But goes over the fence and keeps the count at full. That's low and inside, ball 4. So for the third straight half of an inning, a team has loaded the bases.
Now batting designated hitter, Tegan Euro.
Woodward becomes the second Panther to have multiple walks, as we'll have a mound meeting between or mound visit, I should say, between catcher and pitcher. Here's Tegan Euro. Also has a walk to his name in this game. Swung on and fouled. Strike 1. And the ball gets away. Runner coming home from third. He's safe. Make it 5-3, Panthers. It's Braden Barnes coming in off the wild pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2 for Euro. So 6 combined runs this inning. High and inside, ball 2. So we'll see how long Austin Goss will let Luciano stay on the mound. High and inside, ball 3. From our angle up in the press box, we can't really see down by the Deltona bullpen. But again, we'll see if Goss rides out this inning or if he calls another pitcher. And that's another walk. Load the bases once again here for Eustis. Third Panther batter with multiple walks. Barnes, Woodward, and now Euro. And right on cue, Coach Goss will go out for a mound visit. Looks like we're going to see a new pitcher. We'll give you the update when we return here on Varsity Sports Nation. Back here on Varsity Sports Nation, Coach Goss pulled the trigger, and he's got a new pitcher. Number 30, Kyle Goodpaster. This is his 7th appearance this year as a pitcher. Throws right, has that powder blue colored glove. 1.45 ERA. 3-0 as a starter. Or should I say has a 3-0 record. First pitch lands, ball one. Eustis has had the benefit of 7 walks here through an inning and a third. That just makes it in the zone for strike one. And they're going to try to steal home. Oh my goodness. That's a crazy move there. I haven't seen someone try to steal home in a minute. That's wild. Tried to time it. Ryder Newman tried to bunt that down the line, but it missed. And no surprise that it was Jackson. It looks like the umpires are going to talk to each other for a second to confirm something. And as it stands right now, 1 ball, 2 strikes for Newman. So everybody's still safe. That run that came home earlier, and that's a strikeout. First one tossed here by Goodpaster.
Now at third baseman Daniel Barnes.
As Daniel Barnes comes to the plate with 2 away. He hit into a double play at the end of the first inning. And that is beautiful pitch right on the zone line outside for strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Swing and a miss, strike three. Goodpaster came in and pasted away the last 2 batters. And we stay at 5-3. The Panthers regain the lead. Each team scores 3. 2-run game as we head to the third here on Varsity Sports Nation. We've reached the third inning here in Game 1 on Day 3 of the 2026 Florida League High School Invitational Classic Tournament here in Sanford, Florida. That is fouled off there by Elio Rosado. Second plate appearance of the morning. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Still on the mound for Eustis, Anthony Castiglione. High and outside, ball 1. Deltona took their first lead of the tournament, top of last inning, and then the Panthers answered right back with 3 runs of their own to put it back at a 2-run game. Eustis has 5 runs off just 2 hits. Deltona has 3 off of 4. Of course, Eustis has benefited from 7 walks as this gets popped up into shallow field by the shortstop, and that's caught for out number 1.
Now batting third baseman Jesus Marrero.
That'll bring Jesus Marrero to the plate. Second appearance, he was hit by a pitch last outing, but was able to come around and score a run in the top of the second. And he'll swing and miss for strike 1. That gets away for ball 1. The 1-1. Upstairs, ball 2. Wind getting stronger here as the game rolls on. And so are the pitches, down to up to strike 2 now in this count. Temperature has climbed about 5 degrees. It's now 51 outside. And the temperature climbing here in the strike zone, as that's a strikeout swinging to make it 2 away here for Deltona. As Ray Vargas steps to the plate with two away and nobody on. Outside, ball 1. This is swung on, it'll roll its way up to the shortstop. Odd throw down to first, and they're going to say he's safe. First baseman had to kind of make a weird dive to get the ball. Not sure if the runner made contact with his feet. That's Jabril Rivera Caraballo. Umps come and talk about it. Again, from our angle, it looked like his foot was on the bag and then the runner made contact with his feet. But looks can be deceiving. And the umps have a way better angle than we do up here. And they determined that he was safe. Again, the throw was it hit the ground on the way to the first baseman versus being a straight throw. So it'll go down as a throwing error. Von Thompson has the count even at 1-1. It's fouled off. Strike two. Outside, ball two. Eustis trying to keep their lead, not let Deltona get any sort of momentum. That's in the dirt. Ball three. On deck is the catcher, Mario Vega, for the Wolves. That is fouled off again. Sneaks through the fence into the Eustis dugout. Check the runner down at first. Gets back to first safely. And inside, ball four. So just as fast as the first two batters got out, we've got runners in first and second. And Eustis coaches have seen enough. They'll go out there and have a mound meeting. We'll be right back. So Castiglione still remains on the mound for the Panthers. Catcher Vega comes to the plate with 2 on and 2 out. Low outside pitch for ball one. Swung on, it's fair! Down the third base line. 1 run's coming home. Coach Goss says, you go home too. Oh no, wait a second, now it's caught in a rundown. And they didn't, oh now they got him. Wildness. But after all that, 1 run gets home safely for Deltona. And it's 5-4. Unreal. Well, get your popcorn, because the entertainment is just starting and continuing. Bottom third when we return here on Varsity Sports Nation. It's the bottom of the third. And the Euro stepper himself, just kidding, Parker Euro will lead us off here for the Eustis Panthers. Good paster still on the mound for Deltona. Came in and tossed 2 strikeouts to end the inning after Deltona gave up 3 runs to fall back down to 5-3. 5-3. Deltona got a run right at the tail end of the top of the third. Deltona's given up 7 walks in this game and find themselves only down by a run. That's inside, strike 1. As Euro sends that down to first base, good paster having to chase it down. Does he get there in time? Yes, he does. He can pitch and he can fly. And nobody covering first, so he had to take it himself. Stretch that right foot out as far as it could go. And 1 runner retired. It's Tyler Heine. We'll see that first pitch for ball 1. And Heine sends this into shallow left. Out number 2. So we head to the back of the top of the order. Braden Barnes. One of 3 Panthers with 2 walks this morning. Came around to score a run last inning. Outside, ball 1. Inside, ball 2. So since Goodpaster came in with 1 away and bases loaded last inning, no batter has reached base. Now that could very well change in this game. But interesting note here through 2 2/3 innings for the Panthers. Inside, they say it did not make it in the zone, ball 3. And there it is, first batter to reach base. Under Goodpaster. So that's walk number 3 for Barnes, and here comes the man, Ethan Jackson, responsible for 4 of the 5 runs that Eustis has scored in this game. He's got a 2-run homer and a 2-run RBI single. See if the Jackson magic continues. Good paster. Good rope over to first. Barnes able to stay safe over there. Or should I say get back safely over there. Outside, ball 2. And this is sent into left and caught out of the air by the Deltona left fielder. No runs scored. We stay within 1. And Deltona down by 1 as we enter the 4th. See if they can tie it up when we return. FloridaLeagueTournaments.com on Varsity Sports Nation. Top of the 4th here between the Panthers and the Wolves. Despite walking 7 batters throughout this game, Deltona only down by a run. And what a throw there by the shortstop of the Panthers. That's a quick out, as Braden Thorne could not outrun the throw. As Jaden Colon will get his 3rd plate appearance. 1 for 2 with a single. And he'll send this into shallow left. And once again, shortstop making a play. Got a piece of the first 2 outs here. At the top of the 4th. And now the starting pitcher will come to bat, Noah Luciano. Bunts it. Throw to first. Got him. 3 up, 3 down. That's a 3-pitch inning. You never see that, almost ever. We go to the bottom of the 4th. That didn't take very long. And that's okay. Still 5-4. Eustis leads by 1. We've reached the bottom half of the fourth inning here between the Wolves and the Panthers. Good Paster still on the mound for Deltona. And leading us off will be Jabril Rivera Caraballo. He'll send this deep into left. And that'll land fair! It missed the foul line by mere inches. And that is a single to start the bottom of the inning.
Now batting second baseman Peyton Woodward.
So Peyton Woodward. Third appearance this morning. Reached base twice, both times on walks. In Eustis, we've seen 2 lead changes this game. Deltona took the lead, top of the second. Eustis retook it. Bottom of the second, as Woodward sends this into left, and that'll drop! So 2 runners faced here in the bottom of the fourth, both reach base.
Now batting designated hitter Tegan Euro.
And this brings in Tegan Euro. He also has 2 walks today, one of 3 guys on this Panther roster. And Eustis 5 runs, 4 hits, and 1 committed error. Deltona 4 runs off 5 hits and no errors. That goes down the middle for strike 1. Eustis trying to put some insurance runs on the board, trying to stretch this game out. And their largest lead has only been 2, and they've done it a couple times. And Good Paster has stepped off now twice now. And throws it outside, ball 1. One and one with 2 aboard. Make that 2 and 1. Ball slips out of Vega's glove. Coach Goss telling his outfield to scoot over. Vega tried to frame that. Ump was not buying it. 3 balls, 1 strike. Make it 4 balls. Another bases loaded half inning for Eustis. Euro is now the only man from either team. Check that. One of 2 batters with 3 walks. As we've got our first pinch hitter. This will be number 23 of Hunter Hatcher for the Panthers. And that has popped up into foul territory. And that's caught. Out number one. Falling down grab.
Plate number 13, Daniel Barnes.
There by Matthew McCoy. Just come in replacement over at third base. As Daniel Barnes takes that first pitch for a strike. As Coach Goss will have a mound visit. We'll be right back. Still no balls, one strike. Here for Barnes, and he'll foul that one off. Strike two. That is hit down the third base line. Fouled off. This will get hit into shallow center. And that'll send a run home for Eustis. Make that 6-4 Panthers. As Caraballo comes home off the RBI single. As Daniel Barnes gets on the score sheet. Euro watches that come in for ball one. Smart not to swing at that. But coming up after this game, it'll be Lake Minneola and Pines Charter. Outside, ball two. A game scheduled for 11 or about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game, which the latter is more likely. Outside, ball three. Outside, ball four. Another run comes home. 7-4, Eustis.
Plate number 8, Tyler Heine.
Peyton Woodward gets home for the first time. And a hit by pitch. Another run comes home. 8-4 Eustis.
At plate number 6, Braden Barnes.
As Tegan Euro comes home. We have a mound visit initiated by the catcher. Braden Barnes is batting as we're at the top of the order once more. Bases loaded, still only one out here for the Panthers. And Barnes watches that go down the middle. Strike one. If there's any pitch that anybody would want to retry, it would be that one. As Barnes will call time. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike two. Inside, ball one. Like it was close to hitting Barnes in the knees. And that's connected up to the shortstop. Tossed to second for one, down to first, off the bag. One run came home, another run comes home, and the runner at first gets to second. It's 10-4.
At plate now, number 3, Ethan Jackson.
And Ethan Jackson comes to the plate with one on and two away. That gets sent into center. It's dropped! The throw home is too high. It gets away. Jackson rounding second over to third, and he's safe at third. It's 11-4 Eustis. Took a single off the mistimed catch and stretched it all the way into a triple. Rivera Caraballo at the plate. Outside. Ball one. That gets past the second base and the pitching mound, and another run comes home. Jackson comes home from third, and it's 12-4.
Now batting number 10, Peyton Woodward.
So Peyton Woodward, second at bat this inning, fouls this one off. And one runner on and two out. That ball gets past the catcher of Vega. Evens the count at 1-1 and allows Rivera Caraballo to get to second. The 1-1. Inside ball two. Upstairs, strike two. Seven-run inning. Check that. Yeah, seven-run inning for the Panthers. Scored in every inning except the third, and batter calls time. Outside, ball three. Woodward thought about swinging, but stopped last second. Runner goes down to third, and they're going to say that's a strikeout looking. So Eustis scores 7. They stretch their lead to 8. Deltona with some work to do when we come back. Top of the 5th, coming up next here on Varsity Sports Nation. Welcome back to Varsity Sports Nation. Here in the top of the fifth, Deltona down by 8 runs. We'll start off with a pinch hitter, number 6, Rivers Del Don. Made an appearance in the Martin County game yesterday. Del Don, 200 hitter this year. 6th appearance. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And last time, Eustis was on defense. The top of the 4th, 3 total pitches were tossed. It's almost like an immaculate inning in Major League Baseball. It's pretty rare. Del Don sends this to shallow left. That's caught for out number 1. And we're going to have a mound meeting. It looks like we're going to have a change of pitcher. Give you who the new pitcher is shortly. Back here at Sanford Memorial Stadium here in Sanford, Florida. New pitcher for Eustis, number 15, Jack McAuliffe. Again, didn't see his name anywhere in the stats on Max Preps, and first starting outing on the varsity roster, at least in this tournament. And he'll give up a single to Rosado.
At the plate, number 20, Matthew McCoy.
As Matthew McCoy, who came in at third base last inning, will bat for the first time today. Pitch is down the middle for strike 1. McCoy, 192 batting average this year. And he'll take a hit by pitch. 2 runners on, 1 out. As we got a pinch hitter. This will be Blake Jones, who came in late against Martin County yesterday.
Please pitch hitting number 99, Blake Jones.
The 0-1. Outside, ball 1. Or not the 0-1. 1-0. I was going to tell you guys, I swear I woke up this morning. I'd just be seeing things. Now it's 1-1. That one is foul tipped behind the plate. Foul tipped again. Make it 1-2. Swung on, going into foul territory. Jackson tried to get it from first base. Couldn't quite get there. And that ball gets past the catcher. Runners advance to second and third. Ryder Newman lost track of it initially, but got it before the runners thought about trying to advance to home. The 2-2. Low and outside, ball 3. Outside, ball 4, bases loaded. So again, interesting decision by the Panthers. They had a quick out to start this inning and then switched their pitchers. And now 4 batters later, we've got 3 on and 1 out. As Tavon Thompson steps to the plate. Pitch is high, ball 1. Outside again, ball 2. Fouled off. Wow. Look out below as that just sneaks under the dugout roof of Eustis. Nobody got hit. Two and 1. Make that 3 and 1. Again, wind blowing pretty significant today towards right field. Saw a lot of right field wind the other day. And that'll go down as a walk as the ball gets away. Brings in Rosado from third, and it's 12-5. And we'll have another mound visit. We'll be right back. Back here at Varsity Sports Nation, base is still loaded here for Deltona. Catcher Mario Vega. Base is loaded, only one out. And that pitch in for a strike. As the bullpen active once again for the Panthers, and that's high and inside, ball one. That gets up to the shortstop. Taps second for one. Throw it over to first. Double play. So after all that mess created at the back two-thirds of the inning, Deltona only able to get one. We head to the bottom of the fifth, 12-5, Panthers, when we return. FortLeagueTournaments.com on Varsity Sports Nation. Bottom five action here on Varsity Sports Nation here at historic Sanford Memorial Stadium between the Eustis Panthers and Deltona Wolves. Once again, my name is Conrad Volch. It's been a interesting and entertaining game one of day three. But Eustis finally put their foot on the gas and found something in that bottom of the fourth and was able to record 7. Leading us off is Tegan Euro. The designated hitter. Good Paster still on the mound for the Wolves. Upstairs, ball two. Swing and a miss, strike two. Swing and a miss, strike three. So good pacer. Records a strikeout swinging. Start the bottom of the fifth.
Now batting number 17, Ryder Newman.
So Ryder Newman will come to the plate with one away. That is foul tipped for strike one. And that is hit high into right. And that's caught for out number two.
Now batting number 13, Daniel Barnes.
So Daniel Barnes will make his fourth appearance at the plate with two away. Pitch down the middle, strike one. Inside, strike two. And foul tipped. Keep the count alive. Here for Barnes. And it's framed. And that's another strikeout. So 2 out of the 3 batters get struck out. And that's a very fast bottom 5. We head to the 6th here on Varsity Sports Nation. We'll be right back. We've reached the 6th inning. Still 12-5 ball game for the Panthers over the Wolves. First pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. As Braden Thorne leads us off for Deltona. Inside ball 2. Still on the mound is Jack McAuliffe. Came in with 1 out on the board last inning. And this will get hit into right center for a base hit. So Deltona getting a man on base early. Braden Thorne's been their most consistent hitter. With that single, he's now 3 for 4 on the day with 2 singles and a double. Feels like I just went to Burger King. I'll take 2 singles and a double burger, please. Anyway. Jaden Cologne comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Outside ball 2. As a reminder, coming up within about 30 to 40 minutes of the conclusion of this game, Lake Minneola and Pines Charter will do battle. Be game 2 of 5 here at Sanford Memorial Stadium. All snuck through a burgundy Jeep and a Chevy pickup out in the parking lot for foul. Low and inside, ball 3. Swung on and fouled. Makes it a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes for Cologne. And that just misses the batter or the runner from first to second. And that'll extend for Deltona. Go down as a single for Cologne. And Thorne gets all the way down to third. And Noah Luciano comes to the plate with runners at the corners and nobody out. That pitch must have slipped out of the pitcher's hand. Almost hit Luciano in the head. Outside, ball 2. This time framed in the zone for strike 1. Wind now shifting between blowing towards right field and home plate now. Outside once again, ball 3. And that'll load the bases for Deltona. Eustis sending a couple guys down to their bullpen.
At plate number 6, Rivers Deltona.
And Rivers Deltona up for his second at bat. Not a line out. Not a line out. He hit it into foul territory and it was caught. Takes that first pitch, ball one. And that'll be popped short. Caught for out number one. Tried to catch Thorne away from third, but Thorne makes it back safely. Bases remain loaded.
At plate number 23, Elio Rosado.
So Rosado will have 3 on and 1 out. High and outside, ball one. McCoy on deck for Deltona. Lone outside again, ball two. Swing and a miss, strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. And outside for ball three. This is swung on into deep left. Caught for out number two. And it will not make it to home plate, so Thorne gets home for one. So the sac fly by Rosado makes it 12-6. So Matthew McCoy will come to the plate with 2 on and 2 away for the Wolves. Wait a minute. So the Panthers tried to do the hidden ball trick. And the umps call a balk, and that brings another run home for Deltona, and it's 12-7. Now I've seen it all. And swing and a miss for McCoy. It's 0-1. McAuliffe couldn't believe it. But umps get the final word, and they call balk, even though the ball was not on the mound. Down the middle, strike three. So Deltona gets 2. They cut the lead to 5. So when we return, bottom 6th, Eustis High School. Due up next. Bottom of the sixth here between Eustis and Deltona. Seen a little of everything in this game. Hit by pitches, singles, doubles, triple, home run, a balk. And now a pitcher falling down, trying to get an out, and he got him! Oh my goodness! Wow! So Goodpaster had to leave the mound to go get the ball, lost his footing, threw it back to first, and somehow Rosado caught the batter before he touched the bag. Unreal. So that brings Tyler Heine with one away. The 2-0. Showed bunt. Say he went for strike one. The 2-1. Down the middle, but low. Ball three. It goes up to the third baseman, over to first. And again, having to make an athletic play was Rosado, and it's two away. So we head back to the top of the order for the Eustis Panthers. Braden Barnes with two away. Outside, ball one. Barnes has reached base in all three plate appearances, and all of them have been walks. That is high for ball two. That is hit into right. It's going to be close. They decide to hold on to it. That'll be a single.
Plate number 3, Ethan Jackson.
This will bring Ethan Jackson to the plate. He's been responsible for 5 of the Panthers' 12 runs today. That's framed in the zone for strike one by Vega. The 0-1 pitch. Check the runner at first. He's safe. Runner goes. And the throw down to second is not in time. So it'll be 0-2 is the count. So no balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second. And runner goes down to third. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here for Jackson. Outside, ball 3. So full count here for Jackson. Runner on third, 2 outs. Swung on, collected by the shortstop, throw over to first. And that's the end of the inning. We head to the 7th. Deltona's got some work to do when we return here on Varsity Sports Nation. It's the 7th inning here between the Deltona Wolves and the Eustis Panthers. Score is 12-7. Deltona needs minimum 5 runs to extend the game. If they do not, Eustis takes the victory for their first here in the tournament. Inside, ball 1. Still on the mound for the Panthers is Jack McAuliffe. Inside, ball 2. Blake Jones in his second at bat, walked in his last time up. Outside, ball 3. And they framed it for strike 2. Full count. And inside, ball 4. Blake Jones will reach base second time today, both on walks.
Play number 3, Tavon Thompson.
And Tavon Thompson steps up with 1 on, nobody out. This is his 4th plate appearance, 1 for 1 with a single. That makes it in the zone for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Swung on, collected by the third baseman to second for, no, he didn't get him. Wow. The Eustis defense are claiming he slid off the bag. And if that stands, it'll be 2 on with nobody out here for Deltona. Mario Vega due up next. Panthers pleading their case with the infield umpire. So Vega 2 on. Nobody out here for the Wolves. Eustis trying to hang on and win this in the top of the 7th. Framed in the zone for strike 1. That gets sent into foul territory. Just went over the fence, over to where Lake Mineola is warming up. Strike 2. That's foul tipped. Keeps the count at no balls, 2 strikes. That is set up into the air. First baseman called for it. And that's out number 1. Head back to the top of the order. Braden Thorne
Number 7, Braden Thorne.
will bat. 3 for 4 with a couple singles and a double. Off 2 on with 1 out. That gets hit to the second baseman. Throw to second for 1. And trying to bait the runner from third to home. Throw to home. Tapped him. Got him. And that's the game. Not the prettiest last few innings for Eustis, but they pull out the victory here through 7 innings against Deltona. Final score, the Eustis Panthers 12. And the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Deltona Wolves, 7. Eustis gets to 10 wins. They break a 2-game losing streak. Get their first win again since March 11th against the Village's Charter. And Deltona falls to 10-6. And they've lost their last 3 in a row. But coming up next in about 30 to 40 minutes, Lake Mineola and Pines Charter will do battle here on Varsity Sports Nation. 1 down, 4 more games to go here at historic Sanford Memorial Stadium. I've been Conrad Volch. We'll see you in about 30 to 40 minutes for Game 2 of the tournament. We'll see you later.